morning, evening, noon, night, or afternoon, I guess would be the other time of day. Good time of day to whoever happens to be watching this, or whatever time you happen to be watching this. Yes, I know this video might seem like it's late, but it's actually not. How is it not, you might ask? I could not tell you, but what I could tell you is that it's not. Anyway, in the background today, I have some Battlefield 1 gameplay, and I kind of want to talk about that. Battlefield 1 is an amazing game. Now you're probably thinking, oh wow, he hasn't been uploading because he's been recording so much Battlefield 1. He's been out here showing us all. No. I don't even have an excuse for why. No, I have no idea what happened. I was supposed to do something yesterday. I had all of yesterday off, and then I ended up spending all of yesterday driving around. I went to an audition, realized that I was at the wrong day, so I just said, okay, instead of going to this audition, I'll go ahead and watch the new Doctor Strange movie. Fantastic, by the way. And then I searched for a car wash for like 2 years. Finally found one. That was great. Got some gas, came home, but that took me from I guess I left the house at like 1:30, and I got home at like almost 7. So it was a pretty long little day. But so I did nothing yesterday. Well, I actually edited this video yesterday. I didn't have any narration for it though, so I guess that kind of sucks. I will say, Battlefield 1 is kind of a hard game to just make a video. As you'll see, a lot of it is sped up because I play Scout basically every time. I've played Assault, I think, once. I'm not really a big fan. For this game, I kind of like sitting back with a sniper. I like making, calculated pushes forward and all that. So it's really hard for me to get just really fantastic gameplay. Because I don't really see that many people, and when I do, if they're close to me, I'm probably gonna lose the gunfight, just to be honest with you. But I will say, immediately after these 2 games that you saw, I was able to go out and get a new gun. This is supposed to be in slow motion, by the way. I just kind of wanted to show off this amazing jump. I just wanted to take a moment to look at this. Just look at it. Look. No way. No way. No way. Oh my god, he's not gonna make it. But he makes it! I was very impressed that I was able to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so happy with myself. I think that's 0.25 times the speed. I went really above and beyond with that one. I don't know, it just looked really cool to me when I did it, and I was like, holy crap, did I actually just make that jump? It seems like it's pretty far, and it seems like you shouldn't make it, but I don't know. So there's a lot of times that you're going to watch in this. I'm going to go and I'm going to find some place that I'm going to sit, and then I'm going to stare, and there's not going to be anybody, and so I'm going to have to leave. But that does happen a lot in this game. But I will say Battlefield 1 is probably my favorite FPS right now. I did, of course, get Infinite Warfare. I've been playing it a little bit. Infinite Warfare is an okay game. I think it's better than Black Ops 3. It's better than Advanced Warfare. It's probably better than Ghost. I wouldn't know. I didn't play it. It's not better than Black Ops 2. It's not better than Black Ops 1. It's not better than Modern Warfare 3, 2, or COD 4. I never played World at War or anything before that, so I wouldn't know for any of those, but I can 110% say that Modern Warfare Remastered is a fantastic game. It is amazing. It is beautiful. There's also this little mechanic where you can examine your guns, and if you have the chance, examine an MP5. He does this really cool thing with take the time and just go do it. Alright, it's worth it 100%. It's just such a well-made game, I think, is kind of the thing. And I can tell that Infinite Warfare was very well made and that they put a lot of time and effort into it. However, it's still just another one of those overly futuristic, everybody's jumping around. The hit detection is there, but it seems like half the weapons just don't do anything, and I don't know, it's not the best game ever. It's not really even that good, but it's not a bad game. It's really good for what it is, I will say. I was very surprised that when I played it, that it worked as well as it did. It was like when you went from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3, you were just very surprised at how well that engine could actually handle it. You were like, oh, so this is what it was supposed to look like. Because I was so pleased when I first started playing Black Ops 3, because all I had played before that was Advanced Warfare, which, as we all know, is a horrible game. And just everything about it is just awful. And just, no. But I gotta be honest, this game it feels very slow, I will say. So if you're not into slow CODs, then I would definitely not recommend it. If, of course, you're not into the whole 3D movement thing, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. But I would recommend getting COD 4. Worth the extra money that or not even extra money, but it's worth having to buy Infinite Warfare 4, because it is so great, and it is almost exactly, it's not an exact replica of the game, but the way they did it is very faithful, and it really holds the spirit of the game, which is kind of the best part. There is a few problems, of course. Everybody knows that the M16 is just kind of melting through people right now. Little things, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. And I mean, especially for what it is, it's just a remastered game. I think it's great. Check this spawn. Just watch what happens. How do you do that? How do you spawn me right on a tank and just not care? I don't know. In that moment that I stopped and I was like aiming out the door, I was thinking that I might still have the those armor piercing rounds. I didn't. I wish I did though. But I didn't have any of them. They don't really do too much. They are pretty useful. If you're gonna use them, I would recommend that you aim at planes. They are much better for helping you to take down a plane than they are for taking down anything armored. Check this shot. Bink! Just took him off the horse. It's great. But I would definitely recommend that you were just, if you're gonna use it, you should use it for planes. It doesn't really work on armored unless the tank is very, very damaged already, because I think each bullet does between 4 and 6 damage depending on where you hit. So you're not doing too much. So unless somebody's already hit it, you're kind of wasting your time. Because if it's at 100 and I think you get 6 shots of 6 damage, it's only 36. You're not really doing too much. I use them against the tank I use them against the train every now and then. They're not really useful. I thought that jump looked cool, but I decided not to slow down just for that. If you notice, I slow down for just the points where I'm getting kills or where something interesting, I believe, is happening. Like, I found like a giant group of people, and even if I lose the gunfight and I still die, I think that that's interesting enough to have. Everything else I kind of speed through, just because that's kind of how Battlefield 1 works. I guess no matter who you are and no matter how you play, you have a lot of like really boring parts. And I see most people, they just cut them out. I feel like that makes it incomplete. I think that you should totally see the whole game, and for me to be able to cut it out, and it's like a, I think 15-minute clip, I think that that works for me. Or I think there was a 10-minute clip. I have a second clip on here that brings my time up so high. To address why I'm late, I don't know. I just was doing stuff, and I don't know. I just ended up doing a lot of different things that I felt really busy with, and that just took up my time. Which is a crappy thing to say. But, yeah, it was, I just kind of found, that I had a lot of stuff to fill my time. I mean, I totally should have been able to, and I probably would have been able to find time, but I spend a lot of time really, really tired. Like, surprisingly tired. Like today, for example, I got home at about 11 a.m. I got home at like 11:30, I should say. I was supposed to get off work at 10, but that didn't happen. So I was then supposed to get, I was then, after supposedly getting off at 10, I would have been able to walk home and get here by, I believe that would have taken me to 10:30 or something like that. And I didn't see him at all. But from there, normally I would have been able to just start my day. But I didn't get off until about 11. They made me take down this poster, these things that go out on the outside of the windows, and they just got stuck, and it was just an awful experience. I was out there for literally 45 minutes, just peeling with a spackle spreader thingy. It was just a terrible time, but it was useful. I did get an extra hour's worth of money, so that was nice. But I left at about 11, and so I came home late, and then I went to sleep. It's now 5 o'clock, and I've been sleeping. Also, check this move out. I do this all the time. This time it didn't work out, but I love doing this. I think that this is the coolest thing. If you're in a plane by yourself, and you just spray, and then you jump back into the pilot's seat. Now, there happened to be a mountain right there, but if there hadn't been a mountain right there, it would have been cool. I do that a lot, and I fly away from it. I think the best map for it is that desert map. You know, the one that's in the Sahara, not the tiny one that we just played on, but that giant, really big, sprawling one that has the mountain in the middle of it. That is such a good map. But when you're doing that there, it's really good. And it also catches whoever you're in a dogfight with off guard, like really, really off guard, because they're obviously not expecting it, and they know that you don't have anybody back there because they haven't been shooting at them, and so they're trying to just line up shots on you. You all of a sudden jump in the back and you're shooting them, and it's very satisfying to get a kill like that. I think I've done it maybe 15 times, and I think I've gotten 2 kills, which is actually not bad, just based on how hard it is to control. Like that plane, am I right, guys? Because I can't fly. But based on just how hard it is to control that, it's pretty nice to be able to have gotten 2 kills. I will say, this game, probably a little bit more interesting. I tried to do a lot more active stuff, so I got into planes, I flew around, I tried to do a lot of moving. Most of the time that I'm in a plane, I sped it up, because not too much happened. I was following people, I was shooting, but nothing exciting really happened. Like right there, I totally should have been able to make that, but whatever. I think I get into a plane one more time. But yeah, I think during this I get into a plane one more time. Maybe 2 more. But I gotta say, for me specifically, when I play this game, I am 110% a sniper. I like to sit in the back of the map with my sniper rifle and get kills. And I generally average out probably like 6 kills. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing really even impressive. This whole thing goes by. I get a couple hit markers. Those are the armor-piercing rounds. So I get a couple hit markers with those. It's I mean, I didn't find it too interesting, so I kind of fast-forwarded through it. There's a guy down there that I fire on. Nothing exciting happens. That was me trying to figure out if I could jump down there without falling down multiple stories. I decided against it, but I feel like it would have been cool. What else happened this week? God, Doctor Strange was good. Can we talk about that? Doctor Strange? I don't know if you guys have seen it. I won't spoil anything, but it's a really, really good movie. Marvel is coming out with some great movies, and I need DC to catch up. Because here's the thing. Marvel has great heroes. They have the best heroes, which is why it's so easy for them to make a movie. But what DC has yet to realize is that their villains are unmatched. Nobody in the Marvels, in the Marvel universe at all can even come close to comparing to Joker or Penguin or the Riddler or any of them. And those are really good, very well fleshed out villains. Their heroes, on the other hand, they're just not very good. A lot of people are like, oh man, but Batman and Superman is boring. And I don't mean to, offend anybody who really, really likes Superman, but, I mean, he's an alien that's almost indestructible except for a green rock. And in every movie, the only crutch that a writer can find to make it so that the movie is even remotely interesting is to have the enemy get the kryptonite, which is supposed to be, like, ridiculously rare here on Earth. Right? Isn't it? Because it's from another planet, so why is it here so often? Also, this is just me being a bad shot. I should have shot way earlier. That's my fault. But I feel like, the kryptonite, every Superman writer's crutch is kryptonite, and it makes it kind of boring to know that a green rock is all that it takes to best him. And on top of that, his powers are kind of boring. He can fly, he's super strong, he's bulletproof, he has heat vision. Woohoo. I mean, take a Marvel superhero. Take Shazam, right? One could say that Shazam is their answer to Superman, right? In case you weren't paying attention, Shazam is a DC hero, and I was just trying to see if you guys were still awake. But let's look. Who's a good Marvel comparison to Superman? I can't think of one right now. Alright, let's compare Batman. Everybody knows Batman. Everybody knows, what's his name? Iron Man. In case you don't know, Iron Man is the response to Batman, basically. So, Batman. Really, really good character, right? Everybody would agree that he's a good character. But his motivation is kind of dull. I mean, for I don't even know, like an 80-year-old or a 100-year-old comic? When did he come out? He came out in the TV show in the 60s, probably 1920, 1930, I want to say. I don't actually remember. I don't remember when Batman came out. Whenever the first issue of Batman came out, he had a Tommy gun and he just sprayed people down. So, whenever that was, I'm really happy that I hit those shots, because that was a pretty long shot for a pistol. But, so his motivation is that he's trying to get revenge for his parents' murder, which makes sense, but that doesn't hold up for 100 years, That gets kind of dull. Take Iron Man, on the other hand, Both of them billionaire playboys, both of them had no real reason that they should become superheroes, and then they did, As a, billionaire, you could even say Ollie Queen, if you want to follow that. But Batman didn't have to become a superhero. He could have just, dealt with his parents' death and got over it, gone to therapy, and then just been rich for the rest of his life. He didn't. Freaking, I'm saying Robert Downey Jr. in my head, which is really bugging me. But Iron Man, he could have just been like, oh wow, my weapons are being used for some pretty crappy stuff. Oh well, that's what weapons do, and then moved on with his life and continued being rich. Both of them made the decision to switch, but can you see the difference in motivation? Batman wants to avenge his dead parents, and he never does. Ever. Whereas Robert Downey Jr., oh god, I keep saying that. Iron Man, Jesus, he is such a good actor. He is Iron Man now. But Iron Man is just kind of, he wants to change the world, and he wants to make up for all the horrible things that his weapons have done. That's a much better motivation, and that's kind of the thing. But take Marvel villains. Name a Marvel villain. Red Skull. Okay, Red Skull, he's a Nazi. That's about his character motivation. That's about all he's got. He's a Nazi who works with a cool thing called Hydra and whatever else. Like, real good one there. I mean, take Doc Ock. He's supposed to be this super crazy genius, and I mean, he's never really that big of a deal. Kingpin, supposed to be this huge crime boss, and for people who are growing up now, you know, Kingpin's a pretty important character because they have the new Daredevil show, and so Wilson Fisk is like huge, right? But if you ever watched the animated series, he popped up like once or twice. If you watched Daredevil the movie, he popped up at the end, and I guess he was responsible for the death of his father. And he was never super duper important, you know? He was never game changing. That's kind of all of Marvel's villains. Did I just say Red Skull was a... Yeah. I totally did. Yeah. Yeah, he was a Nazi. Okay, sorry. I was thinking. I got very lost. I was in that whole new storyline where, you know, Captain America happens to be a Nazi. I don't know if anybody's read that, but that storyline is... That'll mess your head up a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's be honest, though. Marvel has nowhere near the villains that DC has. In fact, I would love for DC and Marvel to just marry, you know? And then take all of Marvel's villains and then pit them against all of DC's... Take all of Marvel's superheroes and pit them against all of DC's villains. That would make amazing comics. I mean, can you imagine, like, the Hulk versus Red Skull? I would just want to see what he smashes first. Like, whether he, like, grabs him by the arms or... It would be cool, you know? Can you imagine having X-Men, right? Fighting the Suicide Squad? Can you see that? And I know that Red Skull is Marvel, but Red Skull and Hulk don't ever meet, so I would really just like for that to happen. But all the crossovers that could happen with Marvel and DC would be amazing. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Okay. I got it. Love you.
We have lost objective Charlie.
That was good. She stared at me for a while. She was just looking at me. I don't think she realized what I was... I think she just thought I was in here talking to myself. I don't know, there's a big glowing red light on my microphone, so I would hope that it don't make me look too crazy. Like, all I'm saying, comic books could be so much easier to make, but DC needs to realize that DC, all of your comics are very dark. Like, all of them. You can't make Suicide Squad a fun, happy movie because it's about really, really dark characters and themes. That's what made the comic book so successful, is that you guys weren't afraid to be very dark with it. These are criminals and gangbangers and murderers just hanging out together. Why would you not explore how dark that can get? Making all your crappy, we're bad guys, it's what we do. Like, that's stupid. It's really dumb. I really, really wish that they had gone for a really dark approach. That would have made that movie very much better. Hi.
We are losing objective apples.
Uh-huh. Pork belly in the fridge. Throw it away. Cool. Alright. I don't know. What's a pork belly? Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Jesus. That is really funny to me. Where was I? I have no idea. Anyway. The next video up is going to be an Infinite Warfare video. I have no idea where it was. But I do hope that you guys are going to enjoy all the new games. I went out and I went on this huge spending spree of... I guess it's only like 160 bucks. Or 180, maybe. I bought The Walking Dead, both seasons. And I bought, I think, Season 1 of Game of Thrones, the Telltale series. I think I said Telltale series. And I also bought Slender, so when I get headphones, Slender gameplay is going to be great. Anyway, guys, I hope you are enjoying. If you are, leave a like, leave a comment. Sub for sub. That's not going to happen. And, We lost, of course. It's okay. You guys have a great day.